Now we're going to have a conversation about running, and not just running so that you can enjoy running, but also running so you enjoy running, plus at the same time you run for a greener future of the country. We had a conversation last year about this. We're going to have another conversation again this morning about it, because the second edition of the Lukenya University 10 Million Trees Marathon is going to be taking place next week on the 24th. This weekend.
This weekend. 24th is this weekend, yes.
The 24th of March, 2024. We are joined by the chairman of the local organizing committee of this marathon, George Wesonga. He's in the studio. George, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Situation Room.
Thank you.
And Mutheu Kasanga, who's the deputy vice chancellor for infrastructure at the university, is also in the studio. Happy New Year, Mutheu.
Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's. All that.
All of them combined.
Valentine's.
All of them. And the man Lukenya. Hey, and the yellow in the studio. Karibuni sana.
Asante.
City.
Yes.
Why don't you welcome them with the day's proverb?
Yes, our proverbs for the whole of this week are from the Republic of Burundi. This one I have to ask. What would you say is the capital of Burundi?
Bujumbura.
Bujumbura? You're actually not wrong. That is the commercial capital. The administrative capital is called Gitega. Many African...
That's new.
Well, many African countries have that duality.
Yes. Tanzania.
Tanzania is on the corner here. Kenya.
Yes. Kenya tunagani? Which one do you
You just
have?
have a city that should
I just
declare
wanted to
is the
see,
center of the country.
I wanted to see if you're paying attention. You are paying attention, yes. Now the proverb.
Yes.
Too many words blacken your ears.
Too many words blacken your ears. Mutheu, what's your interpretation of this proverb?
I'm feeling affronted as a woman who speaks a lot right now. Feeling very affronted. I'm trying to navigate this carefully. Because women, we express ourselves through words. Then you have a proverb like this, which most probably came from a beer drinking group sitting somewhere. Full affront.
Okay. We've had the preamble now. Your interpretation.
Now interpret.
I've not killed the conversation there.
You think you're getting away with it?
So you
Well,
it's your opinion, really.
It is. I think it just means sometimes when people talk too much, they are trying to obfuscate something. They are trying to hide something. So you need to pass the letters, reduce it, kabisa, to get the actual point.
George?
Say it again. Could you say it again? Too many words?
That is an excellent way of prosecuting a matter. Repeat it again so that I can understand it properly, okay? I'm going to say it slowly.
Yes.
Too many words blacken your ears.
Too many words blacken your ears, George.
Yeah, I think it's about having to listen to everything brings about confusion and makes you not to be in a position to make a decision. Yeah, you listen to so much that at that moment you cannot make any decision.
Yeah. You just become confused.
Yeah, you just become confused.
You had too many things from different quarters,
Yes.
too many cooks.
They spoil the soup.
How are those two interpretations, City?
They're very good, actually. You see, the beauty of asking for your opinion, you can't be wrong. It's not possible because that is how you've interpreted it. That's how you resonate with the proverb. Yes, thank you.
Very good. Okay, Mutheu, let's talk about the marathon. But first, for many people who do not know Lukenya University, where is it?
Lukenya University is in Makueni County. So it's just there. It's not far.
Nova.
Over.
Yeah, it's
Up.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
What?
You did not know.
Nova.
Oh, you've heard it and you've never sort of heard it in context.
Never like this.
It's just the same thing, you know.
You're kidding.
When SGR opened, the way Syokimau was just a stone throw from the beach.
Then you say Nova.
No, but it's just, yeah,
Not
Hapa.
far.
not far.
Hapa,
Good
hapa,
golly.
hapa.
All right. Sounds
So-
like not far. Yeah, it really Nova. does.
Yeah,
Not
and it
far.
does mean that.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, the relativity of, you know,
Yeah, but too.
people who
Space.
used to trade and walk long distances.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's in Makueni County.
Makueni County along Mombasa Road. That's Makueni County seems to have two roads only. So there's the one that goes to Wote, comes out to Makindu, and then there's the main Mombasa Road. So we are Titu and Day, and then you go in about 23 kilometers in there.
Okay.
Beautiful setting, right by the riverside. It's the one place in Ukambani that has water all year round, the Athi River, because it's 900 meters above sea level. So the river is meandering now. It's not as fast, so it doesn't empty out. So absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's the one thing we want to show all our runners this cycle. We want to show them the riverfront. Want them to enjoy, you know, watching a sunset. Small things, the joys of being in Kenya. You know, while you're there, Tembea Kenya, look at it. You know, get to see it, get to see a part of the country that you just never. You know, how many universities open their doors to people? We are doing that for 3 days. Just sign in, sign up, come.
Come and enjoy.
And we'll make it, you know, a fun experience, a tourist experience. And you get to do the thing you love for those who like running or cycling.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the second edition of the marathon. And this time you're saying it's a 10 million trees marathon.
Yes.
What was the thinking behind the marathon, even from the first edition?
The first edition was, you know, just thinking, you know, we're in Makueni, and the one other lady who was sat with the founder said, "I can't believe this is Makueni." We were opening our library after which was built during COVID, and they sat and said, "You know, I cannot believe this is Makueni. How is it so green?" And they said, "We need to just amplify and talk about this thing." And you know, at the time, the new president had started. He's not the new president. Our president had started talking about the climate change agenda in a big way, and it was, you know, like we are doing it there in the university. What else can we do? A university is a very distinct type of institution. It's a kind of institution that can create very big impact. If you look at some of our public institutions, let me pick Laikipia University. When it was started, there was nothing in that part of the world. Absolutely nothing. Today, look at the area around Laikipia University. There's a way universities can change places. Baraton, Moi University, you name it.
The urbanized places.
Not even up, they draw people to them. They draw people to them. So what if you drew people to you, but with, you know, something, you know, have an agenda.
Something distinct.
Yeah, something distinct. Yes, people will come to trade because, again, universities do pull in a lot of young adults. So there's always trade, and that trade grows into, you know, accommodation, then it becomes a whole economy on its own. But what if you get known for having a distinct way of reaching out to community? So we thought, okay, let's plant trees with the community. So we picked out the constituency where we were sat in and said, we think we can plant 250,000 trees in a year. But how do we get that message across? Then at that time, Rebecca was the CEO of Family Bank. She's now a recreational runner, and she runs everywhere. She's run in all the big marathons in the world. Just running, not competing, just running. Said, why don't you have a marathon? Because it speaks to Kenyanness. We are known for Kenyanness. I mean, look at what we did in Rome last week. Top 9 were all Kenyans. We'll never be invited to Rome again. We simply will not be invited. But, you know, we are known for running, but are we a running nation? Is this something Lukenya University, two things can be good at? You know, telling Kenyans, you know what, there is running. You can run competitively. Come to Lukenya University. Let's help you get spotted. Let's have a registered marathon. Let's help these young runners get spotted. then if you're a recreational runner, come, move across, move out of the comfort zone of running in urban areas. Once in a while, reach out, go out, come to Lukenya University. We'll open up our campus for you. And that's how it started. So the first edition was 250,000 trees. We thought 5 million trees in 5 years at 250,000 a year is very doable for Makueni. So we put together groups of women and young men to start the seedlings so that we are growing area relevant trees. Mm-hmm. And by December, we had exceeded our expectations. We had gone past the 250. And the uptick was, frankly, it ended up being less work than we thought it would be. Mm. Talking to communities, the chiefs, and this is a beauty when you have a national drive of something. Everybody's already aware. You're not the one going to break the news. Look, women, we can plant 2 trees just using your kitchen water. You can plant 5 trees just using your bathroom water if you have a family of 6, 7. Don't just pour that water to water the ground. Pour it somewhere, And then the chiefs are already pulling people together. So we are plugging in. The schools are ready to be talked to. So by December, we had already hit 300,000. So by the time we sat with one of our partners, Mama Doing Good, they were like, you guys, you don't know what you're doing. You can do 1 million. And let's stop talking about 5 years. Let's do it for 10. Mm. And we see we have, because already with our small, method, we can see now we have a scalable method of, like extending our reach and things like that. If you see, one of the things that on the tree planting day that everyone will see is the CBO leaders, the community-based organizations that have come together to do seedlings, and how they are so passionate because now they know what to do. They know that you don't give out seedlings when they are about this big for company. They need to be bigger. We know the trees. They know the trees. They've been educated. We've worked with KFS and the government agencies that assist with knowledge and reach. And we are very confident that this is we're going to do it.
So 300,000 trees already planted.
In fact, more like around 400 now.
Where? Within the university?
No. This is in Kibwezi East specifically. Yes.
Okay.
Worked with chiefs, wards,
Yeah, so this is interesting because, so we're talking about a marathon and then bringing this information.
Yes.
Right? But then deeper than that, and I think it already partially answered the question that I'm going to ask is that, then how do you get people to latch on to the reason behind this? Because, it could be very surface level, very top layer, plant trees, okay, that's great. Traditional societies understand the importance of having trees. They understand the importance of vegetation for, water resource and all of this. They understand that. But then now we've come into a place whereby somewhere in the middle, that importance kind of disappeared. And then we're coming back to reintroduce and to retrench some of those issues again. So how have you been able to get people to latch on to the importance, but also the reasoning behind? So it's not just planting a tree, but it's looking at then future resources, future sustainability. So not just planting the 300,000 or 400,000, but for longevity, for sustainability, and for folks to understand that this is actually what we're doing.
Something beautiful has happened in Makueni County, something absolutely beautiful in the last 10 years. And we had a big drought. But did you notice that of the places that were being targeted for food, Makueni was not one of them? And we call that the fruit tree revolution, where people have understood that farming is not about maize, which is the crop most likely to fail in this country. That there are parts of this country where maize never fails. Yeah, but there are other parts where we've been sort of told plant maize, it will secure your food. Yet at the end of the day, what people need is money to buy food from wherever it comes from in this country. And because our transport networks have improved drastically over the last 15 years or so, we're seeing movement of food is not a problem. And it is not arriving in places at ridiculous prices. All we need to do is put money into people's pockets. So when we are going out, we are telling people, look, fruit trees, mix them up. Have your shade trees, have your nitrogen fixing trees, your grevilleas, your what. Have your indigenous trees, but also have a few fruit trees, especially if you don't have larger pieces of land, which is a lot of younger people. And that kind of education is what is driving sustainability. Yeah. And the fact that in Ukambani we just simply don't have enough rainfall is telling them how to use the little water that is in households. Using your bath water, using your kitchen water. Just don't mwaga it, but make sure it goes somewhere. That's the key to having ornamental trees, because there's that. There's also just trees that will be sustainable in an area. When I hope you guys come, but when you do come there, you'll see it's baobab territory, so it is semi-arid, but yet there's economic activity going on. Yeah, there's economic activity going on. I know of somebody who's experimenting with dates in that area, and these are some of the things that change people's lives, transform people's lives completely. Yeah. So that's what we are doing for sustainability. Trying to put a benefit that is a little bit short term, not the long term. Or you will be having a shade, in 20 years when our trees mature.
Yeah.
No, we are telling the mango trees actually take a lot shorter than that. Just throw in some pineapple seeds in your homestead. You will have something to sell in the market.
Yep.
And these are things that can be rain fed and come up during and mature during a rain season. There's all that education going on. There's all that discussion going on to make sure that the community actually uptakes this. Yes.
The Kenya Forestry Research Institute, they have a branch in Makueni,
Yes.
in Kibwezi.
Yes.
How are you working with them?
We've been working with them even longer than we had this whole happening. Why? Because our flagship degree program at Lukenya University is Dryland agriculture. So with them, we've been walking a longer journey. And that longer journey is, number one, we have a problem in this country. Our agricultural faculties don't have students countrywide.
Agriculture is not...
Yet it is the biggest
attractive
income earner in our country.
It's just the wrong conception that agriculture is not good for the youth. But I think that's a wrong idea that they have.
It's a mindset.
Yes,
It's a mindset.
They need to change. Now there's a lot of money in agriculture, and many youths are now making money, lots of money. Those who have gone agribusiness way are now making so much money through agriculture, and that's what the youth now should do. There are no more jobs flying around, and by people sending in applications after university, right?
Yep.
Let's say I've taken bachelor's of education at the university, isn't it?
Yep.
I can still use the same knowledge, apply the same knowledge in my agriculture, and I'll succeed. Let's say I've done marketing, I've done business administration and that stuff. I'll still use the same to do agriculture and make a living out of it and surpass expectations. So I would like to tell the youth today, if your father has a 9-acre or a 2-acre piece of land and there's some stream passing by, or you can do a borehole, stop going to the city. You're exposing yourself to so much problems in the city that might end you might find yourself getting into other uncalled for stuff. But if you remained in the village, used your knowledge that you got from school, because now I would like also tell them that university is not about going to university is not about just passing those exams and carrying a title. I have this, but how can you put this into action? Go to the village, Lima there, use that marketing knowledge that you got from school, apply it there. Then Kenya will be a nice place to be. There'll be no congestion in Nairobi. You'll not be walking along Tomboya Street and knocking each people's shoulders as you move.
Carrying brown envelopes.
Yes. They should never carry any more brown envelopes. Let's go there. And that's what's happening now in Makueni. I was surprised to see women in riding bicycles, carrying seedlings, and planting these seedlings in their homes. And now they are going the way of you do trees for fruits, and you can also do trees for timber. So they are able to provide good, nutritious fruits to their families. So that thing of njaa Ukambani, and as my colleague said, Makueni was never part of that njaa thing. So wacha vijana waende mashambani.
Some great passion you have there, George. You'll tell us what else you do around this whole issue. We are talking about the second edition of the 10 Million Trees Lukenya Marathon. It's taking place this weekend, the 24th of March, at Lukenya University. Lukenya is in Makueni County. When you get to Mutituande, you turn branch left.
Yes.
For 20, how many kilometers?
3.
23 kilometers. You will get to Lukenya University. Now they'll tell us when we are running, what time we are starting to run, what hours of the morning, and then at what point shall we plant the trees, and then at what point shall we eat the matunda, and when we shall come back home. Our guest today, Mutheu Kasanga, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for Infrastructure at Lukenya University, and George Wesonga, who is the Chair of the Organizing Committee of this year's Lukenya Marathon. 10 Million Trees, Lukenya University Marathon, taking place this weekend, the 24th of March. So, George, now let's talk technical, okay? When is the marathon? What are the races? When do they begin? When do they end? What do we win?
Thank you. We start on Saturday. We'll have cycling. And the winner in cycling will earn 10,000 shillings because we are targeting locals.
How many kilometers?
They'll do 42 kilometers.
Okay.
We are targeting the locals with their black mambas, and they are really excited. They have never had such a thing, and they have seen an opportunity now to come and display their talent and also win something. After that, we'll do the tree planting. Then on Sunday, the big day, we will start from a wake-up call before 4 in the morning for assembly. Then there will be called the call room at 5:30. Then at exactly 6:15, for 2 kilometers, race will kick off for both men and women, which will be followed at an interval of 15 minutes by 21 kilometers, also for both men and women. And then we will have a few minutes later, we'll do 10 kilometers. This 10 kilometers is largely for locals because, as my colleague said, we are also trying to tap talent down there, discover talent, tap that talent. So we are leaving that one so much open for the young people down there so that they come and also run. Because if we put people from the north, from the rift,
those ones, the 10 kilometers.
Yeah, they'll
so
take
it's
everything.
for us locals.
Yeah, for you locals, you can do the 10K, and then there'll be 5 kilometers. People say it's for the lazy people, but I don't think so because energy is used. Takes a lot of effort and courage. So that one will have the fun runners who we are welcoming down there. We have lots of things for them. We have lots of entertainment. There'll be a lot of Tembea Kenya thing there, whereby we'll have, Mr. Mutheu, we're having some dinner at the beach.
Yeah.
Later on in the evening.
Beach.
Yeah. Oh.
Like I said,
You see?
Nova in Mombasa.
No, seriously. We have a river.
The
Athi River.
And
We
nice.
have more than 100 meters of sand and beach
So beautiful.
in the university.
And while there, you'd get a chance to see the elephants come to drink. But no, they are not at that much close.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
But we also have good security. You'll be able to see the buffaloes. What else do you have there? Elephants are there.
Fun. So there's wild animals.
Yes,
Wild animals.
it's beautiful.
As you chill,
As you chill.
And also, you'll have to see a number of birds, many types of birds there. For those who love bird watching.
when is the dinner? The dinner is on Saturday or Sunday?
Oh, we're having dinner on Saturday. Jioni.
After trip line.
Watu
trip
watabanjuka pale. So there's fun for everybody. And for the first time, we're having KDF coming on. They're also coming to compete. And also, they are coming to help us plant the trees. Because we need to do as many trees as possible.
This is nice.
Yes, now for 42 kilometers, man, number one will walk away with a whopping 500,000 Kenya shillings.
Where?
Both male and female. Hakuna ubaguzi. So number one male 500, number one female 500, and then 21 kilometers will give, is it 250 or 150?
I can't remember.
250.
Let me check.
We'll give them 10k. They are not left out. We're also giving some money for
the winners.
For the winners, yes.
Okay.
5k will not have any money
There's
for
a
them.
medal.
We have medals.
We have medals.
Of course.
Beautiful medals. We'll have a section for souvenir photography. You can take your photos there with your medals and look good. We'll also have our online thing going on, whereby we'll be streaming, and you people will be able to see you all the way, or rather all over the world. They'll be able to see you. Now, Wazees.
Wazees are which one? The 5K?
Yeah. But no, 5K, we might have vijana.
Okay.
But sasa wazee wale wa 50 above, we also give them a chance. We want them to age slowly.
Yes.
Come and keep fit. They'll also have a chance to do their thing. And above all,
What is the thing? Are they walking, running,
you know, this
or just dancing?
Whatever.
they can run, they
Just
can
show
walk,
up.
they can do a walkathon, they can run, they can just show up and cheer people. We also giving nice t-shirts. I think you can see our t-shirts.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
The Kamba color.
They're beautiful.
Because we are in Cumberland. So we are doing
telling
yellow. We are doing yellow. And it's beautiful.
It's actually a very, very nice
Yeah.
t-shirt.
And we're having our defending champion, last year's winners, who are coming to defend their titles. Chengo from Machakos is coming to defend his title. And then we have Helen from Pokot. All the way from Pokot.
She won last year.
She won last year, and she was very happy. And the best thing with Lukenya, we don't delay in payments. We execute mara hiyo hiyo.
You win, you go home with your money.
Yes, you go home with the
After
check.
the drug test,
After the
the anti-doping test.
Anti-doping
We want
test,
to remain
which is normal.
as a credible
Yes.
marathon.
Yes.
We want to.
so actually it takes a month.
Every participant will get a medal.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
kila mtu will get a medal and a chance to take a photo at the dais, and also at the school, the university gate, so that to show that you are there at Lukenya University.
So where are these trees being planted? Where exactly are we planting the trees this time?
For the ceremonial tree planting, we've got an adopter forest at Lukenya University. Lukenya University sits on 1,700 acres, and we're very keen to have everybody come and have a permanent label there.
Okay.
So last year's trees are all permanently labeled, and everybody who wants to come and just check on their tree can come and check.
Okay.
So Saturday is the ceremonial tree planting day, and then we roll out a schedule of tree planting in the entire Makueni County. And we've got partnerships. Like, for instance, we're about to partner with KWS on Gong Forest. There are places that need reforestation. So if you're in Nairobi and you still want to plant trees under the Lukenya University 10 million trees banner, we are still trying very hard to make sure that those trees get planted at places that need them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because you see, like groups like KWS, like even Kenya Forestry, you know, they have these areas where where things have happened, and they want to bring the ecosystems back up to speed.
Yeah.
So, you know, like for instance, we are trying to do a partnership with the Kenya Association of International Schools. You can't always transport people to Makueni.
Yes.
So we see whether we can, you know, say, okay, you guys, we've got 170 acres in Gong Forest that need reforesting. Can you guys plug in here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's there's planting trees,
And there's growing
and then
them.
there's growing trees. What, again, going back to that, you know, I guess is the word for the day, sustainability.
Yes.
How are we making sure that the trees that were planted last year, the trees that we planted this year, grow to maturity over the 10 years, whatever, you know? How do we make sure that the fruit trees that are planted will bear fruit and, you know, they will be available, whether it's in market or for consumption.
Whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest discussion in our country right now. For us, when we started our project, that's why we kept it at a small radius, because then we had teams that went around at least twice to cross-check and to replace dried seedlings. After all, last year we did have a rain issue. We did have a problem with rain. So we kept going back, replacing seedlings, and that's why we can count our successes. So we are not saying we are going to plant countrywide. We can't do that. I can't promise that we can then do the sustainability. And for us in Lukenya, we are very keen not to just be dumping seedlings and walking away. We want to be able to bring in a team from wherever, one of our partners, and say, this is what we did in 3 months. Can we go and check the progress of this? We are very particular about where we are getting our seedlings. Very particular. We are not just accepting anybody who is dumping seedlings to us. We've seen how that didn't work for us early on. And we said, no. Now we are going to do CBOs. We get these verified groups of people who we know are doing the right thing. And it's part of also empowering our community. It's part of the sustainability of this thing. If you don't comply, then we drop you off our list of suppliers.
Indeed.
So it's critical. And being an institution of learning, that we are also spreading the learning, which trees are suitable for these areas. How do you propagate them?
Yeah.
How do you get hold of the seeds? How do you seed collect? How do you make seed bombs for some of the larger spreads that are a little bit arid, where then birds can eat the seeds, and then you can say in 10 years these seeds will germinate or whatever, that kind of thing. So that sustainability issue is quite a big one, and I think there are a good number of groups that are now beginning to look at sustainability. Yeah. For instance, I'm in education. My biggest concern is that institutions consume our forests. When you look at the average school, say boarding school, with 1,500, which is literally every government school, and then you are told a statistic that they consume about 50 acres of forest every year, then you can know here now there's more than just planting these forests for consumption. Because with our growing population, then trees are being harvested younger and younger and younger, and not really serving the purpose of climate conversation. We need to have bigger discussions here. And I know there are small groups doing various big things. For instance, I know my Rotary Club is doing a big thing on gas for institutions to sustain, because schools are also areas where we can grow a lot of trees.
Sure.
And it has a dispersal effect as well. You do something in a school, chances are that young person will take the same lesson back home. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And we are not going to make friends with Kambas only during the mango season. Now we are trying now they are doing other fruits so that we can make friends with them throughout the year. Yeah, because before we would make friends with these people from Cumberland
because of mangoes.
Yes,
now
because when they are coming up, they would carry a sack for you, and they are juicy. I mean, they produce the best mangoes, and now they are going now to do other good fruits. Madam Mutheu, what other fruit does very well in?
Right now, the entire watermelon ecosystem is coming predominantly from the drier areas. So you're getting moranga,
very sugary, sweet watermelon. Like, when at the
again,
university,
that's not a tree.
It's not a tree,
but it's a plant.
It is one
It's
of
a
those
fruit.
things that has.
I've seen pixie oranges as well.
Pixie oranges are huge in
big thing.
the sandia sands, the places with the sandia, which used to have nothing. By the way. These are some of the places that used to have nothing. Now suddenly they are.
This flagship course that you have in
The Dryland
university, what is it exactly?
Compared to the usual agricultural course, our agricultural courses have been crafted around areas with certain types of rainfall. Therefore, no limits to what you can do. Dryland agriculture even goes into pastoralism. It goes into things like, the nomenclature. Cottage industries that require a lot less rain, and that whatever it is that is rain-fed can do well. Scalability. within very short, bursts of rain. It talks about conservation of lands and ways of maintaining and capturing water better. And believe you me, places like America have been doing this for a while. Believe you me, Australia is the flagship for dryland agriculture. Why we Africans had not jumped in there in a loud way, I don't even know. Even I feel sometimes we are not shouting out loud enough for it, given that Kenya is 2/3 semi-arid.
No, because we were made to believe that the only water we can receive for planting anything must come from up there, the rain. But now if we go the other way,
but you see the point is that it empowers people in knowledges that are not quite here. Like look at sericulture, silk farming. Silk farming is predominantly in India dryland agriculture space. It's not a wetlands. And India does have very distinct and hard dry areas. And all you need to do is, for instance, for wild silk is to plant castor. Castor doesn't need any amount of water. Castor oil plant. And then you have the byproduct of castor oil. So these are some of the things we want to roll out, and we are building up curricula for. We have regulators who, must go through everything and get there, and then do these things as large rollout cottage industry. Because I think that's our other problem as a country. We want big jobs, but we can't create cottage industry jobs that are very, very prosperous.
Does the university have farmland where one can actually see demonstrations of this dryland agriculture?
Yeah, we've started demonstrating. We've got quite a successful cassava project. Again, cassava that picks from West Africa where the leaves are edible, unlike our cassava where the leaves are, if you want to kill your husband, give.
That's the way.
Yeah, us guys in Ukambani.
Don't say that.
Kamote is throwing.
Spreading ideas.
I'm spreading ideas here. Stop.
Because she didn't say it.
I did say it. I did say it. No, but we, having varieties that grow in drylands that every part of it is food.
It's all edible.
It's all edible.
Calro.
And then again, also providing for industry. Kenya imports starch for glues. Most starch comes from cassava. We are not producing enough cassava for the industry. We need, there's something that is beautiful happening in the country. It's not getting enough airtime in the TVET and the industry linkage space. There is something that we are calling, we need to build up capacities for industries to reduce imports. Yeah, and we walk a step at a step. Like now we need to figure out where we're going to do large scale cassava. Cassava contains the highest amount of starch of any substance, so it's used in making glues. These ones that stick unga packets, that glue.
That's
that
cassava.
glue. Yeah, that's mint cassava. So there are opportunities that we think, given a decent supply, industry can pick up.
Yeah.
Or start at a cottage industry level, then scale up.
And scale up.
Yes.
City was saying something about Calro.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Sorry,
I was going to ask. Simba. Is it in Makueni County?
Simba.
Simba the lion.
Simba.
Simba
What
the
do I-
company,
animal.
Simba the animal.
No. Please, there's a place called Simba near to Mombasa.
Yeah, it's in Kajiado County.
That's Kajiado.
Yes.
It is not in.
But it's on Mombasa Road.
It is on Mombasa Road.
So it's on
it's
this
Kajiado.
side of
Nova.
it's on that you follow the boundary follows the old railway line. So when you're driving down, if you just see where you'll be able to navigate and know which county you are in.
Why I asked the question is because there is a Calro station there.
Yes, there is.
Now, Calro have been experimenting with the very thing that your university is flagshipping
Yes.
for the longest time.
Yes.
My question then is, do you have any association with Calro?
We do
to
work with
further-
Calro,
Yes.
but here's the thing. A private sector is beautiful at shouting out loud. So whatever we are getting, we are not inventing. We are showing communities and we are helping spread. Because Calro is, how do I put it? There's a lot of good things happening in our government.
Plenty.
Yeah, but it is not government's place to monetize things. Do you get? Private sector is best placed to help monetize things.
To commercialize.
Commercialize
this
things.
thing that you've just said, Mutheu, does the government know this?
It's interesting because, okay,
You want to go there?
can I ask
It's just as a by the way, because
Again,
Yes.
like even us universities have been accused of many things, but I think right now, one of the things that private universities are best placed for is a better linkage with industry, because we understand each other.
And look,
There's what I gain, what I gain as a private institution, learning institution, and what private sector, we are easier to write. Like if an industry wants to buy a patent of us, for us, it is easy. We'll figure out the monetary and give the person in the institution who's come up with the idea and tell the industry, now you pay this person. You have to pay him before he writes an academic paper, because once he writes an academic paper, it becomes public knowledge, and you lose control over that. For us, and this happens the world over, that is why Harvard is what it is, because it's a private institution. It is able to work better with industry. So I think we are on the cusp of something in Kenya, on the cusp of something good happening. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing.
And because now government is kind of a little bit beginning to open up some spaces, that can then be monetized. The problem is, once it's been written in academic paper, it is useless to anybody.
But that's the thing. And I think that when we are talking about, okay, so because we understand the dinosaur that is government.
Yes.
And we also know that in there lies this rich treasure.
Yes.
Because the folks have come up with that. With some of these processes,
Correct. I've met patent holders,
my
and
goodness,
things like this, and there's good stuff. But then
it's crazy. But then the link, and
Yes.
so one of the things that we accuse government of over and over again, the link in the communication between I have this thing,
and
this is what we've done, and we need to bring it out so that it can then be commercialized. That link is missing, but I think that is what would form the marriage for a lot of PPPs that we don't see between private and public. And here we are looking at, some of the things that you've spoken of, and I can imagine that there are folks within government offices who are thinking, oh my God, this is exactly what we need to bring this thing to life.
Correct.
So then the question is, the things that you've mentioned, things that are happening, we may think it's not just a marathon. This is years and years of possible sustainability,
Correct.
of the reviving of resources,
Correct.
of making communities in Kenya sustainable.
and bringing
from
in
something
new
like
ways
this.
of funding things as well.
So,
yeah.
Isn't it a step that can be taken and say, okay, the thing that we've been looking for, and we can understand the limitations of government, of public, can we not then now be more proactive and say, let us deliberately make the link?
Again, we hope we are modeling something, that can be seen by other institutions as replicable. And everybody now looks into their space and begins to look at it and say, how can I align this? How can I align this? So that then we're not doing this thing where, like I started by saying, agriculture is not loved by young people. There's a reason why it is not liked. Because we are not making it clear what it is you can do when you're done with it.
Sure.
That's it. That's it. We're not making it clear. Therefore, the sector is lacking key knowledge now because of years of young people not finding it useful.
Quickly, what can you do with it? because we can keep it up. What can you do? We know, but what can you do with agriculture?
Okay, number one.
As a young person
As
today.
a young person today, applied knowledge is a thing that we have not structured it properly. You see, when I do IT, most young people know what to do because it's very applied. Yeah, it's very applied. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of young people doing fantastic things without employment. Do you get?
Yep.
Now with agriculture, we are not able to translate it as it has been in, the way we look at it and the way we said we are going to jump into this and dare to crack this one. And even while we have trouble attracting young people because of the general reputation of the thing countrywide, when I look at the curriculum myself, I can see why, like, for instance, we are having a problem. Because it's too general. It's not specific to people's own lives. You know, when we're talking about dairy cows, and I'm coming from Mandera, please, can we have another discussion?
Yeah.
Please, why aren't I being told better ways of harvesting blood when I'm in Kajiado County? Because this is how I live. Why is it that there's still no equipment for blood harvesting of cows in this day and age, given that this is how a significant population in Kajiado County, in Samburu County, in Ware, live with their animals, and this is how they extract food. You know, we are not even gone into our own. We've just adopted international curricula.
So we have just an overall curriculum that's addressing everything, but maybe not specifics.
And has never even come down to look at how it applies to me.
And even showing the value chains.
Exactly.
That it's not, agriculture is not just
So you find
growing the food.
Yes.
There's a lot that you can do.
Yeah,
in the
and
agricultural value chain.
figure out how to do these things inexpensively.
Okay.
I'll give you an example, a very quick example. You've seen in a lot of touristy places, people, guys who make, you know, kikois by wooden looms. Now that same loom is in India, metal, and very small, and is nearly in, you know, you walk a village, you'll find 60 of them. Why is it here? We have hung on to a very cumbersome way of doing things. Yet nobody, you get, so with castor oil and this thing we are doing with silk, this is part of the thing we want to do. We want small communities to come together, you know, extract the silk. It's very easy, weave, and then, you know, we are selling a roll of silk.
Show the next
And the
thing.
market is here. It's at least we've figured out the market stream for that. So we will be telling them now, here so and so will come to buy your silk.
Right. Again, the Lukenya 10 Million Trees Lukenya University Marathon is taking place this weekend, 24th of March, from 6:15 a.m. on Sunday. The
Yes.
42-kilometer race flags off, and everybody's. How do you register, by the way? Quickly,
Online.
We have online registration.
Right.
And there's a pay bill also there. And we have shared our
Lukenya University
links.
Marathon.
Yes.
So online
Standard
registration.
Media will be covering it live the whole day. We have recreational runners as well, so come one can all. We'll celebrate the professional runners, but we are here. Sisi ndio tuko, tutakimbia. 5 hours later, we shall finish.
We will be
Yes.
there, no matter what.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mutheu Kasanga, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Infrastructure at Lukenya University, and George Wesonga, who is the Chairman of the Organizing Committee of this year's second edition of the 10 Million Trees Lukenya University Marathon.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.